I'm Ilse Schoonraad of the Georgia Herald, and with me is the author of the book Steinhoff and the Steinhoff Boys, James Brent Styan. James, you told us very interesting things, and you also said how shocking it is that this hasn't come out sooner, that, you know, there were all these sort of, if you're looking in hindsight, all this evidence, but that people overlooked it. The top auditing firms in the world overlooked this. Now, how many other firms would you say?
Yeah.
I mean, is this the same happening?
It's an excellent question. It's one that's got me, I suppose it's the biggest question I've got from coming out of writing this book. Because many of the characteristics at Steinhoff you can replicate on other companies, very well known ones. I'm not going to name any names. We're speaking about massively complex companies that operate out of different countries with very strong CEOs who don't take no for an answer, who don't take criticism easily, business models that nobody is entirely sure what the heck's going on where, but the share price keeps growing exponentially. So these are the kind of characteristics that are there. And then my question is, if nobody could see the Steinhoff crash coming, nobody, no regulators, no government, there were a few tiny critics, but they were the exception. But nobody, not the auditors, nobody saw this. What else is being missed? Where are the experts who should be looking after our funds, in who we are all relying? I mean, we're just giving our pension money away every month, believing that it's being well managed, well looked after. My question is it really?
What is the alternative? Do we have any options?
We've got to take greater ownership. Sadly, we've got to take greater responsibility for our own life, for our own finances, for example, medical aids. Every year we complain about how medical aids keep increasing. Do you know that we've all got trustees that represent us at the board meetings and the general meetings where medical aids have to increase the fees? Do you know who your trustee is? Find out, speak to that person. The same with politics. Find out who's your ward councillor. Do you know who your ward councillor is?
And then, for example, I mean, if we look at the incredible riches of a guy like Marcus Jooste, do those guys, you explained a little bit about the company structure and then Steinhoff Europe and so on, do they literally write their own paychecks? No control?
Well, there's some control. I mean, for the top management, you know, the top leaderships, the boards generally have to sign off on remuneration at every annual general meeting. But at the annual general meeting, all shareholders are, and this works the same way in every company, at annual general meeting, all shareholders are represented, or should be represented. If not, they always have a quorum. This includes pension funds, and these people have to vote on the remuneration that these top execs are getting. So when we do complain about the massive payments people are getting, at Steinhoff, the CFO was getting about 50 million per year. I mean, when those numbers are being thrown about and voted on, they have to be voted on for that top level of management. Where are the pension funds? Where are the shareholders? What are they saying? Are they just saying, you know what, it's fine, sign off, let's keep going, it's great? Or are they asking the relevant questions, the necessary questions? It's not, you know, afterwards people come out and say, oh, but this should never happen. Well, it did happen. And every year people just sign it off and say, pay them more, pay them more, pay them more. And in Steinhoff's case, it's because, I suppose it's understandable to a way, because the numbers of this company was phenomenal. I mean, the profit grew 300% over 5 years. Revenue grew 500% in 10 years. Incredible numbers. So I'm sure the senior management said, this is why we get paid the big bucks.
Why should I buy your book?
Because it's juicy, it reads like a thriller. There's all sorts of stuff in there. There's not a lot of sex, but there's a bit. There's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of cars, and it's about warning signs that we all need to take awareness of. But essentially, it reads, I think, like a whodunit, really, you know. What happened here? Where did all this money go to? R1 billion is 1,000 million rand. 240 billion rand was wiped out.
And I think, you know, not a lot of sex, but the guys you write about, I think they had a lot.
Well, no comment.
And then, okay, just to bring a little bit of a local angle, our Tacky Town story with Bram van Heijstien, and they were also bought mostly through shares by Steinhoff, friends of Marcus Jooste, etc. Do you think they have any recourse at this stage? You know, saying, listen, you know, but you may have known that these shares may become worthless.
That's going to be very interesting and very difficult, and it's going to be, it's the reason this mess is going to take so long to unravel and really get to the bottom of. Even Christo Wiese, who was the chairman and the largest shareholder in Steinhoff, I think he had at the end about 25% of the entire group. he says he also bought into this group under false pretenses, under the pretenses that the statements and the numbers were accurate, and that he was sold, sold a dud essentially. And I'm sure the Turkey Town guys are going to make the same argument. So it's going to be interesting to see how one day it gets resolved. But I mean, that's going to be for courts to decide.
Okay, Wiese is making that statement, but it could very well be, or maybe I'm here on dangerous legal turf, I don't want him to sue me. It could well be that he did know, but that he thought that they would just be able to get away with it forever.
Well, we will have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Look, I think when it comes to Christo Wiese, there's a number of things that are interesting, which I think might be some context, but it will be for people to decide themselves what they think, and for a court to decide, or whatever. But the three things that are important when you think about Christo Wiese's role: one, why did he give Pepco, his big baby, into Steinhoff? He didn't just say, here we go, here's Pepco. He had a thorough due diligence done by international firms in 2015, who came back and said, there's no problem, do it, get into this company. Point one, I mean, he's got to rely on someone, and the people he relied on who were outside the group said, go for it, do it. One example. Point two, his track record. If you look at what he did at Shoprite Checkers, he let Whitey Basson run the business and he didn't get involved. Yeah, Steinhoff, the numbers look great for many years. Why wouldn't he do the same thing? Have Marcus Jooste run the business? So why would he wouldn't surely not do something different there. And the third point is he kept putting his own money into the business. He was going to put his last baby Shoprite in as well. Surely, if you're greedy, if you want to make a ton of money by crooking people, you're going to at least keep some of it out. But he was putting everything in, even up till the end. I think he lost about 60 billion of his own money. And to me, that's quite a convincing argument.
Thank you very much, James. Looking forward to reading it.
Sure.